I took Usman lightly. I listened to what all the other people were saying. He older, like he about to retire. Like he didn't want this fight, so I already know that I won the mental games. So you already know that I got great stand up. Now I'm ready to show my version of the Booty Warriors.
Bucko
Right?
Madoff coming.
Yeah, Bucker
Yeah.
Madoff. If Jeff Neal can stop your takedowns, I know I can too. And not only do I think I can stop the takedowns, but I know that I can put Shavkat on his back. Nobody in the welterweight division gonna beat me. If Shavkat truly believed that he could beat me as easy as he could beat me, then he could show the world exactly what Kamaru Usman couldn't do to me, and that was finish me. I go out there and I flatline a person like Shavkat, puts me right in position where I need to be in order to fight for a belt myself. That's what I want to be, is a world champion. Yeah, black boy, that's what he
Black
said.
boy, you get beat up.
Yeah.
You think that's racist or not really?
I would have been felt better if he would have said the N-word, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Call me a boy is crazy work. If I feel any type of disrespect on any type of level where I feel like it's warranted for me to swing on you, I'm swinging. Like, I like street fight. I ain't got down in the streets in a minute. I'm
Yeah, I
really
mean,
turning to Aaron the Plumber. It's crazy. Do I think Prates or Michael Morales are the more skilled fighters than Sean Brady and Leon? No, I don't think so. Don't let me just be talking. Set it up. You know, Izzy different. What's understood ain't got to be explained, bro. Anybody that be putting them French tips on their nails, you know what I'm saying, be twerking out there before they get into their fight. Like, you different, big fella. Alex Pereira, he a kickboxer. He ain't no boxer. I will outbox Alex Pereira. I will show the world that I can outbox Alex Pereira. It ain't nothing. Yet again, the sport that we are involved in is predominantly a lot of white people in it. We're gonna get a couple snow bunnies in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I need two good names, right? And if not, two good bodies. How much we get for a knockout?
50K.
How much we get for a body? If they don't die, it don't count.
All right, so I'm joined once again by Joaquin Buckley. Welcome back, bro. It's been a minute. How you
Hey,
been?
bro, I thought you had the new name for me, New Money.
New money, new money, new Mansa.
Yeah, man, we back, man. It's been a minute. It's been too long.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's been like 6 months, or like I think we haven't spoke since like May or something like that before the
Yeah, man.
fight.
Yeah, I was definitely locked in, right? Obviously that loss that I had against Kamaru Usman, I really just want to just tape it down, get off of social media, get away from just the content game and really kind of just focus on just my ability and my skill sets, right? And once I did that, and I ended up taking a challenge with RAF, you know what I'm saying, and going out there and that went crazy, right? I thought it was just a perfect time to really kind of pop out on the social media and really just get my name back going. Because I truly believe with everything that's been going on in the landscape of the fight game, I was like, it ain't no reason for me to be outside right now. Right? I'm just be locked in and focused on myself. So, yep.
Okay, so lots happened. You just mentioned RAF. There's been a bunch of fights in the welterweight division. You've been calling out Shavkat, but as always, we'll just start from the beginning, right?
Sure.
With the Usman fight. How you've been able to kind of handle everything and process it all over the last 6 months. You just said you've been staying away from social media and shit,
Right.
but how you been locking in and all that stuff.
I mean, be honest with you, I really was felt down about it when it first happened. I said the first week, bro, really was just submitted and just realizing like that was my chance and that was my opportunity, right, to be a person that was a number one contender or a person that could have really argued for his position to fight for a belt, right. But one thing that I just realized, it just wasn't my time, and that's one thing that I can like truly just accept, that Usman on that night and at that moment was just better, right. But it didn't show that I wasn't capable of being a world champion one day. It really exposed to me, that a person like that of Kamaru Usman's stature and where he come from, the best that he could do to me was hold me down, right? He didn't want to feel the threat on the feet. He didn't want to feel the power in my hands, So I really feel as if, he took the safe route out. And for him to be a world champion of that caliber and only fight at a certain or only fight a certain type of way, I got to look at that as a respectful thing. And with that being said, I just really realized, I was like, okay, if this all I need to work on is not being able to get taken down, and I'm really going to put and submit my name as one of the best in the world, then that's what we're going to work on. So I called in some guys, and I made sure to really just work with just pure wrestlers, right? And I called up Nick Simmons, man, to try to figure out some good bodies to work with. I worked with this dude named Brian Jackson and his son, and I forget his son name off the top of my head right now. I think it's Jaden actually. Yeah, Jaden Jackson, and worked with him as well. And we just put in countless hours of work on just pure wrestling. And like I said, no content, no social media, right? We just locked in. I'm watching videos of Frank Chamizo. I'm watching videos of Jordan Burroughs. I'm watching videos of Lee Kemp, right, back in the day. And I'm just really kind of just trying to put myself in a position like, okay, if I was to only work on this form and style of wrestling, what kind of wrestler would I be, right? How could I utilize these weapons and use these skill sets to help, evolve my game, right? So you already know that I got great stand up. Now I'm ready to show my version of the Booty Warriors.
Bucko
Right?
Madoff coming.
Yeah, Bucko made
Yeah.
up 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so even before that Pat Downey match got booked for RAF, is it safe to say you had been training wrestling before that got booked, or what? Like over this last 6 months, or what?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even been as confident if
Okay.
I wouldn't train the wrestling, right? It wouldn't make much sense. Now, was I training for a particular match? No, I wasn't. But I was training that art of wrestling full time. I wasn't working like freestyle wrestling. I wasn't doing things like that. We were just working pure folk style, right? And I was more focused on MMA wrestling, right? From stand up to level change and cage clinch and all that type of stuff. It wasn't until Kevin Gastelum had came to St. Louis. We had like a jiu-jitsu match down here. Shout out to Adam Seller. He had his little thing going on. And Kevin Gastelum and Jordan Dowdy end up, competing with one another. To find out my man Eric Steenberg, what I'm saying, ESMMA, ended up having a seminar with Kevin Gastelum. I ended up coming up there because I was like, shoot, me and him could probably get some work in, and it'd be fun for the fans to be able to see both two UFC fighters working. Kevin Gastelum said he wasn't trying to do it because he had just got done binge and, on the east side, partying, throwing that money,
Yeah.
girls. But he told me about RAF and how he was about to compete in that. And I was like, oh, bro, link me up, right? So he ended up telling me the names I got to reach out to. My manager that you just spoke to, Todd Miner, he reached out to the main guy named Chad, and we started cooking. And the thing about Chad, he was like, bro, has he even wrestled before? I'm like, bro, that was my first discipline. Like was I a collegiate wrestler? No, but at the same time, I was that was my first base, right, of martial arts. So he set it up, and funny enough, it was supposed to be me and Kobe. A lot of people don't know that.
Damn. Okay.
Me and Kobe was supposed to run it. It didn't happen for whatever reason, and then they was like, "Hey, you want to fill in to go against Pat because my man Anderson was supposed to go up against, you know what I'm saying?
Corey.
Corey Anderson, yep,
Yeah.
from the Bellator, and he got injured, whatever. And I said, "Fuck it, I'll fill in." And I said, "Well, wait." It was like, "Shit, 205." You know what I'm saying? Is that cool? I said, "Shit, I ain't gotta cut weight. Hell yeah." If anything, I gotta gain a little extra weight. But we took it, and to be honest with you, man, it was fun, right? It wasn't as stressful as a lot of UFC events are, because I tell people all the time, it ain't nothing like a UFC event. Like it ain't nothing like actually walking out on that stage and walking out in front of those crowds of folks. But before you do that, you gotta be backstage, right? And as you backstage, you seeing videos of people getting highlighted, right? And you gotta be like, nigga, hope I ain't next. You know what I'm saying? like stuff. So it can be very nerve wracking. You know what I'm saying? And the energy just different when you doing like a UFC event. But the RAF, it was simple, man. It was chill. It was down to earth. You know what I mean? We were still locked in, but the pressure for me to win, you know what I'm saying, or do something spectacular wasn't in the books, right? I was just like, let me just go out there and compete and get paid. And luckily, like I said, I had a person like Pat Downey who liked to talk to, you know what I'm saying, who liked to, go back and forth. Like that's the type of people that I like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Facts.
Let's talk some shit, right? Once we got out there and we did what we did, at the end of the day, I know that I did something special, which was take him down. They didn't award me my points or anything of that nature, but it was already caught on tape. And once we posted that, bro, that thing went crazy, right? And you had even Henry Cejudo, saying, giving me my props and was like, yeah, those were points on the board for sure.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I believe in my heart, like, yeah, did I lose? Yes, I lost, of course, right? Like he dominated me if it's in that field. But I feel like it's a victory being able to take down the silver medalist.
Shit. I didn't expect that even.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Did
tough for
nobody.
anyone to do on
But
Pat
but
Downey.
I told myself, I said, bro, I'm at least give me one.
Yeah. How did you get
And
that one? You guys were tied up or
he
something, and
was
then
tired of,
somehow you just got on his back real quick.
I just muscled him, bro. So he
Mm,
tried to trip me. He tried to hit me with a not a lace, man, but a knee tap right with his leg. He tried to like hit the corner, but I seen that and I just ran him over. That's really all I did. I just ran him over, muscled him down to the ground. He said he tripped. I said, bro, you tripped, nigga. I pretty much just took you down with just pure, let's say, just aggression, right? And once I was able to take him down, he went flat on his stomach, and then I took his back, right? I could have turned him on everything I love. I could have turned him, but we made an agreement. No turns, and what else? No holding and no stalling. That was the agreement, right? I was like only takedowns and throws. Like keep the match entertaining, you know,
right.
whole time.
But he went back on that deal because I saw the
Oh,
backstage
because I took
video.
his ass
He
down.
said you went like bop bop on his head or something like that
Yeah, yeah,
with too
because
much collar tying.
because I was watching a lot of Jordan Barrows and
Okay.
use the palm to kind of stop the head or go underneath, and I was just gonna use a lot of those attacks, the palm attacks, whatever, to kind of come underneath, right, and a distracting thing for him where he couldn't get my timing, right. So a lot of feints, a lot of feints, a lot of feints. But it is what it is. Next time I'd love to be able to compete on the RAF again, but give me somebody that's favorable. You know what I mean? Give me somebody that's around my skill set. And for me to really kind of showcase that I know what I'm doing out there.
Okay, got you. And then also too from that video you posted, you're calling for that rematch and shit, but Pat also offering multiple times to help you out in training. So what's it gonna be? You guys gonna be homies yet, or you still got to get that lick back?
Both.
Both. Okay. I
Yeah,
feel like you should take him up on that offer.
I can get it back in training too.
Yeah. There
I
you
think
go.
it'd be good. I mean, it just got to be timing. Timing is everything. And with the fighters that I can see myself fighting right now, I don't need Pat, right?
Okay.
For these. But if I get a fight with certain names that obviously have a great high level, grappling skill set, then hell yeah, I'm calling, right? I got his number, what I'm saying? I got him on social media, and he said whenever I need him, what I'm saying, just call him. So I got that line.
Okay, got you. Well, I mean, shit. Speaking of calling out Shavkat and all that stuff, though, you think Pat could help you with that one just to get your wrestling defense like bulletproof, maybe increase the offense too?
Maybe increase the offense, but Shavkat not a good wrestler. Period. Like
So you're not even tripping on that at all. Okay. He doesn't really shoot for takedowns that much in his fights, to be honest.
okay, if you look at the Jeff Neal fight between him and Shavkat and Jeff Neal, how many times did Shavkat attempt to take down Jeff Neal? It was like 10 times. And he completed no takedowns. He completed no takedowns. If Jeff Neal can stop your takedowns, I know I can too. And not only do I think I can stop the takedowns, but I know that I can put Shavkat on his back because you've seen what Ian Gary was able to do with him.
Okay. Got you. Damn. So, all right. So Usman, in a way, he a better grappler than Shavkat anyway.
100%.
Okay, for sure.
There's not a lot of guys that can match up with Usman besides Islam.
Usman gets that disrespect still, but
Right.
we got respect on his name.
100%. I mean, any
Okay.
person that hop in that mug and survive with me, I got respect for you.
Okay. And going back to the fight, did you rewatch it at all and have any takeaways from it?
From my fight with Usman,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like I said before, it's just not allowing the fight to go where I don't want it to go. Right. Always being in uh the controlled positions. Right. Like if I want to be on the feet, it's the fight gonna be on the feet. If I want the fight to be to the ground, it's gonna go to the ground. Right. So I want to control all the scenarios in the fight. That's all that showed me. That's it.
Okay. And also after the loss, like your team and everything, they still stuck by you. Has anyone switched up on you or anything like that? Because you're riding that 6-fight win streak. So a lot of people were in your corner, but I just want to know, sometimes they talk about that. People
Nah,
switching up
but
on you.
there's a lot of adjustments that have been made, and like I said, a lot of people don't even realize how I even orchestrate what I do and how I get down. I'm only one in a few fighters that do what I do, right? And when that comes to actually building my own team, right? Building the coaches that I have, right? Like I'm working with specialists more than I'm working with like an actual guy that's in a MMA gym, right? I'm not working with guys from like in the Sanfords or Kill Cliff or AKA, or what's another good one? You know what I'm saying? ATT, right? Like all these different gyms that have access to a lot of bodies and a lot of different coaches and stuff like that. I didn't have, and I had to find the right people that I felt comfortable with, and I felt like did have the natural talent to be my coach, right? To work with me, you know. But at the end of the day, I still got to hold critique, not just on myself, but on my team. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of different things that I feel like need to be made as an adjustment. If you not with me full time while we working on before we even get a fight, then you're not in the corner, right? But that's just common sense, you know. A lot of coaches feel like just because they didn't have time with you, last fight or another fight ago, right? That they got the right to be in your corner this time. I'm like, no, bro, we got to always re up, you know? Like, we got to put in the same scheduled time every single time. And I'm only going to be working with people that I've been working with consistently. And that's it, you know? So with that being said, it's just like making fine adjustment with everybody that I've been working with and just finding the time to really kind of just um, let the world know like what we do and how we do is really me, you know? Like, it's not that I'm by myself, but like there is no whole head coach where I have to depend on to be like to make all these calls for me, right? Like when it comes to my routine and when it comes to my schedule, as a grown ass man, I'm running all that, right? But if I need a program done when it comes to my strength and conditioning, I reach out to my man Justin Hardick, Human Performance Institute. You know what I mean? And I look at the program and I get to work right at 4 o'clock in the morning. When I want to work on certain striking and work on my footwork and whatever, I got a boxing coach for that and Reggie Thomas, right? And when he works certain things and when he kind of break things down, I just tell him, hey, this is exactly what I want to work on, but you give me the drills to help best do that, right? When it comes to me and my ground game, right? Me working with Jeff Henry, he's a great instructor. He know everything, bro. This my Mick, right? You know what I'm saying? Like and Rocky, right? And he knows a lot when it comes to just the MMA game when it comes to all techniques, right? I don't care what you ask him, he knows the instruction for that. But when I say I just need certain things done or I want to work on this, then he just gives me those tools to do that, right? But I'm the one that's directing everybody, right? Because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be as good as I am, you know? Because I know exactly where my holes are and I know exactly where my strengths are. And I know that I'm always going to be 100% honest with myself. I never lie to myself, right? If I'm struggling somewhere, I don't I don't fear away from it, right? Because I don't want to put myself in that uncomfortable position. No, I got to get uncomfortable. And I have to do this in order to get better. But there's a lot of fighters that don't do that. That's why they need a coach to hold their hand and figure out everything for them, you know? So, yet again, bro, I'm the only person that I believe in my heart of hearts that's really just doing this shit, you know what I'm saying, off the strength.
Right. And I saw you also reached out, or you didn't reach out, but you said something like you'd be down to train with Trevor Whitman. I guess like a double question. What was it like going up against a coach like that? Because I respect Whitman a lot. Like he probably one of the top coaches in the game. But also on top of that, like, would you be down to go train with him? Because you did kind of say you would be down.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a student more than anything. And I feel like whatever we can gain, which we can gain a lot because they beat us, um, we can gain a lot of good intel and information on just how they work and what their system is, right? But organically, I'm not gonna move somewhere else and pick up and leave, right? Like, let me learn what I can learn. You know what I'm saying? Take some good, intel, take some good information, but we bring it back home, right? And we run it up. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get away from what I'm doing because it has gotten me to this point, right? But now, how do we not just get to that point, but how do we supersede that, right? How do we pass that up? And that'll be a cooler thing to be able to go work with Trevor Whitman or work with Kamaru Usman and just get some good little tips, right? Because it ain't like I gotta restart the whole wheel, right? It's just little breadcrumbs that I feel like that we was missing. That yet again, if we had it could have been a different result that night.
Yeah, minor details that probably Usman had over you. They could be like, all
Right,
right, this is what you did wrong. This is what we exploited in you. Now you know.
right, 100%. That's it.
Okay, for sure. And what was I gonna ask you? Oh, the judges' scorecards and stuff. Did you think the fight might have been closer than what it was? Because there's a thing going on with the takedowns, and then if people don't really do too much damage, how much should we factor that in? You were doing well on the feet every time, every round before he took you down, right?
Is that gonna change the result of the fight?
Not going to change the result of the fight, but what do you
Don't
think the
even matter.
scorecards were and stuff like that?
Don't
Or
even
does it
matter.
not even matter to you?
Don't even matter.
Okay, you
Lost.
feel like you lost it then.
I did lose. And I
Okay.
know I lost, right? I know the only round that I won without no argument was the 5th round. And yet again, in itself, that's a victory. Why is that a victory, right? Because you can also look at 2 other fights, and it happened to the same people, right? That they fought these good grapplers, where you either talk about DDP and Hamzat, or you talk about JDM and Islam, right? And all our fights went the same way, except for the 5th round. The 5th round, both DDP and JDM both stayed on the ground, could not get up. Myself, I prevented that and I made the adjustment, right? Does that mean, oh, well, they had better fighters that they went up against Buckley? Nigga, I went up against arguably one of the best welterweight fighters of all time.
Yeah, for sure you did.
Period. So with that being said, it's just like, now that I know that and making that fine adjustment within that time, that means that I can prevent guys from taking me down, period. That's all that showed me.
And, you
Right.
know, when I saw that too in the 5th round, I was like, damn, he could wrestle. Like, I already knew this shit too. Was it just like that you underperformed in there or something? Like,
No, yeah, it's underperformed. I took Usman lightly. I listened to what all the other people were saying. You know, like he older, like he's about to retire. Like he didn't want this fight, so I already know that I won the mental games. So regardless though, we didn't treat this fight like I treated every other fight, and that's kill or be killed, right? Go out there and try to bury somebody, you know, and I didn't do that, and I didn't lock in until the 5th round, and that's my mistake, right? And even my brother Edric talked about it, even Jeff talked about it. They said like, bro, we should have locked in early instead of being so calm about losing. Like everybody was just like, oh, we got another round. It'd be 3rd round. Oh, we got another round. 4th round, like, damn. We got another round, 5th round. Damn, this is the only round we got.
now you got to finish him.
Right. Now I ain't got no choice. So, that's a mistake that we all made and we won't make again.
Got you. What was it also like just facing off against him? Was that like a surreal moment at all? You know,
I
because
think
there's that viral face off where you're like, that's what I want right there.
yeah, man. I gotta just tell people what's be on my mind for real, right? I can't
Yeah.
never hold it in. But it was also real, being lined up with Usman, obviously, right? Who's a world champion. Seeing Francis Ngannou being right there beside him. You see Toby, right? The singer, right? Being out there,
No wigway or something like that?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Crazy enough, I was jamming to this music right before I was walking out. But he ain't
Damn.
like, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't there for me. Like he there for Usman. But I can't even listen to that nigga music no more because I'm like, but at the same time, I was like, okay, never idolize these motherfuckers. You can do the same things as them, but like in that moment in itself, that was my time, and that's the first time I ever let the bright lights get to me. First time I let the bright lights get to me, man. And now I know the position, the power that I have because I realized something, right? I said, bro, I can be bigger stars than all these guys. I can be, right? And I will be, But right now, it's like it's a learning curve that I'm just on, right? And now that I'm on this learning curve and I'm able to introduce these new weapons and actually kind of keep training and training and training and kind of just dial in on just sharpening everything up. And I just realized, I say, bro, nobody in the welterweight division gonna beat. Nobody. I took that L against Usman. Shout out to you. But now I seen exactly what I needed to work on. I'm gonna destroy everybody.
Got you. So that
Because
loss even gave you more confidence.
even way more confidence.
Okay. You were going to say something? You're about to say because
Shavkat.
something?
No, you all right. I was
Okay.
gonna bring up Shavkat. Like, if Shavkat truly believed that he could beat me as easy as he could beat me, then he could show the world exactly what Kamaru Usman couldn't do to me, and that was finish me, right? And then that puts you over Kamaru Usman, who was arguing for this title shot, right? And Shavkat, you ain't got a fight coming up. Ain't nobody raising their hands to fight you but me. Then why not take the easiest route to get to your belt?
If you're such a tune-up, right? If you're such an easy lick.
That's what it is.
Okay, because today he responded to all your call-outs. I mean, shit. Should we just
That
read some
wasn't
of the
him.
call outs?
That
Well,
wasn't him.
now I
That
know
was
I had to
Saeed.
put it
That was
out there.
Saeed in them.
That was his homie Sayat, his manager.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, but let me read this call out real quick because you know you re-sparked it with this one post. We'll get into all the timeline right now with this. So you know, a couple months ago you called him out, right? You posted that video, and then you didn't get a response.
Uh-huh.
So you had to repost it again, right?
Uh-huh.
And you said this: "Stop hiding in Uzbekistan with your hoe ass. You've never fought someone with my speed, never fought someone with my pressure, never fought someone with my power. You've been living off an image, and I'm here to destroy it. You talk about being the next contender, so now I am the one standing in your way. Come do something about it. You know, a fight with me exposes everything. Your holes, no diddy. Your hesitation, your limits. That's why your team won't say my name. Killcliff and Henry Hooft said himself, none of you boys should fight me. I'm telling you right now, Shavkat, Bucko Madoff is coming for you. No contender talk, no excuses. Just sign the contract."
Well, poetry, nigga. I should have been a writer. Yeah.
What makes you want to call him out over anybody else?
His ability to show the world how great I am. I go out there and I flatline a person like Shavkat, puts me right in position where I need to be in order to fight for a belt myself, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to be. That's what I want to be, is a world champion, right? And me fighting backwards or me fighting just a random name is not going to get me there, right? And then, like I said, this is a timing thing, right? Shavkat need a fight. He's been inactive this whole time, and really, people just want to see you out there and doing your job, Shavkat. And they don't really care who you get into the octagon with, to be honest, right? As long as you go out there and you go out there and perform. And with that being said, you can't use my last loss as an excuse, right, to not fight me. Because other than that, I'm still 6-1 in the welterweight division, and you 7-0, and all those things that you done, I was able to get the same amount of fights within a year throughout your whole career. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Throughout your 4 years in the UFC, I was able to do that in 1 year with the UFC.
Facts.
Is that wild?
Crazy.
So,
He got injured, you know, again recently.
right. And I called that too. I called that a while back when I was at the Kobe fight. And I was like, I feel like Ian Gary, even with that, not Ian Gary, even with a win over Ian Gary, I was like, bro, I feel like he injury prone. And he's still not even going to be able to make it up to his fight. And guess what? Boom. What happened? Right?
Re-injured.
He
Same
wasn't able
knee.
to show up. And then it was JDM versus Bilal. Right?
Exactly.
So, Mystic Manson. I gotta really put that motherfucker trademark. But with that being said, it's just like Shavkat, they just want to see you come back, and you got a perfect dance partner, and not only a perfect dance partner, but somebody that's gonna build this fight up to make it as big as what it can be and what it will be.
So why do you think he's trying to be hesitant in fighting you, saying you're his third option, all that stuff?
Because his coach and his manager said, leave that dude alone. That's no good for us. He didn't
I
work
mean, I
on
think you do a lot of good for him.
but that's not what they thinking, because they know I got the potential to knock his ass out.
That's what they're seeing.
Exactly the type of fight that he had with Jeff Neal. It will be almost similar, but with me taking less damage and me landing more damage on Shavkat.
Okay. And so when he made this call out, you know, I even fucking commented on there. I'm like, at Shavkat, respond to the call out, because we gotta hear a fucking response. You feel me? He responds and he goes, what'd he say? Something black boy.
Yeah, black boy.
Black boy, you get beat up.
Yeah.
That shit pissed you off at all, or like, you think that's racist or not really?
It's like, but it's learned. It's learned. Like somebody told him to say it like that.
Was it Syod or some shit? Like, what the hell?
It had to be. It had to be, because that's the only person that's been chirping on his thing. But regardless, right? Like, that's cool. You could talk whatever. I would have been felt better if he would have said the N word, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Call me a boy is crazy work, right? Because I'm a grown man. It could have been black man, you get beat up, right? Why black boy, you get beat up, right? And even when his last post, right, called me a kid and all this, me and this nigga the same age, you know?
So that's what I was looking at that too. I'm like, you guys are both born in 94. I'm like 90% sure of that.
So with that being said, you just trying to be disrespectful, right? And I don't mind you being disrespectful, but you gonna take this fight though?
Do you think you got better chance of taking the fight now? as you've been calling him out? Because you've been fucking campaigning for a
At
couple
the
weeks
end,
now.
I'm gonna keep campaigning until whenever, because the number's still gonna get up, right? Because this is also a personal thing for me, right? Like I gotta keep myself out there, And this ain't a fight like I'm trying to pretend like I won't. No, I want this fight, but at the end of the day, it's not us that make the call. It's the UFC. You know what I'm saying? Like, so regardless if I get 2 million, 3 million hits on a video because of whatever, right? It's still the UFC call whether they want to make the fight happen or not. But until then, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna get the fans behind it. Because one thing that I do know the UFC does follow and love trends, they gonna follow where the fans go, And if the fans want to see it, and Kazakhstan people want to see it, you know what I'm saying? Like they gonna run that fight up.
Okay, so I mean, I think that people on both ends, your fans, the Kazakhstan fans, they both want to see it. What do you think your odds are of getting this fight? If you could
I
just
think
say.
my odds is good. I got a big Uzbekistan fan base back there. I show the Uzbeks more love than he do, and he was born there. Because a
You
lot of
put him
people,
on the map.
yeah, a lot of people try to say like, oh, he's not from Uzbek. I say yes, he is. He was born there.
Oh, I didn't even know that. He was born there?
He was born there. Yeah, he
Okay.
fled to Kazakhstan, whatever. His mama left the husband or something. I heard the whole backstory. But anyways, though, he ran his
No,
ass
that's not
off
true. Is
to
it true?
he ran his ass off to Kazakhstan and been repping that flag ever since. But he was born in Uzbek. So with that being said, man, I rep your country harder than you do.
Yeah. Wait, what YouTube channel you been watching? Because you got like all this fucking stories that I never heard
Don't
of.
worry about it, man. I do my homework. I do
That's
my
just true though.
homework.
You're not capping about that. Like his parents got divorced. He moved to Kazakhstan.
No, I'm definitely capping about that. But
Okay.
there's a lot of different things though about Shavkat that a lot of people don't talk about. And I'm the type of dude that I talk a lot of stuff, right? But there's two things I don't talk about. I don't talk about kids, and I don't talk about the dead. You know what I'm saying? I never cross those lines at all. But there is a lot of tragedy that has happened in his life, right? That has derailed his activity. But at the end of the day, shit happen every day, B. You know, it's time to get back to work.
Okay. And so
So
speaking of the odds of getting the fight, you're calling for that February fight, right? Are you more locked in on like a February return or like are you more locked in on him as an opponent? What's meaning more to you right now?
I'm trying to get my money up, man. So I'm looking at February. I like Feb as a good date. That people been telling about that Houston card. I think that's good money. But if not, early March, somewhere early March.
So late Feb, early March.
Yeah.
Whoever, if Shavkat's not going to be ready by then, or if he doesn't want to take it, you still want to fight around that timetable?
Yeah. But let's just keep putting Shavkat name on it though.
Okay, got you.
Keep putting
Got you.
Shavkat name on it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, he got to return as soon as possible, right? So February, he going to be looking to return
And if you
as well.
find nobody else to fight, come on. Because he said I'm a third option. That means I'm an option.
Yeah, and we did mention how we talked on the phone yesterday. We are just talking about how what's his name again? Michael Morales hinting at fighting JDM, right? Usman doesn't really want to fight again. He's going to sit on his spot probably and hope to get that title shot. So who else are you going to fight? Morales busy, JDM busy, Usman busy.
I mean, if anybody, it'd be Protez.
Protez.
Protez won't want to fight Shavkat though. Styles makes fights, bro. All this shit, man. Styles makes fights, bro.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And going back a little bit after the fight with Usman, we got to touch on this one real quick. Israel Adesanya, you guys just went like scorched earth on each other. You guys been beefing for a minute or something, or like was that just completely random to you?
No,
Because he says he like hates you and shit like that. So did anything happen?
No, ain't nothing happen, bro. That's old news, bro. To be honest, and there ain't nothing that's gonna happen from that, right? But I feel like I find it crazy, like for not just myself, but like a lot of these foreign, because he a foreigner, right? He not black at all. Like, he not a black American or nothing. So him using niggas, I be feeling some type of way about that shit too. But like they be so disrespectful to us, like. And just to use even with the Jamahal Hill and Joanna situation, right? Like, I just don't get what makes them so comfortable to be so disrespectful towards us, right? Like, what make it about us that they really be thinking like we soft like that, right? But then I realized something, because we know where we come from. If we was to do the same thing as them, we don't get the same privileges, right? To let things slide. Like when these dudes be fighting back what's the word I'm looking for? Backstage, you know what I mean? Or they get into it at the PI and all this other shit, and it be like a whole little thing, a whole little scuffle that happens. No penalties happen to these guys. But let us start throwing some hands in this bitch.
You
Let
think there
us
might be a
start.
problem?
Ain't no mic, like, no, bro. Like, we gonna start losing our job. We start doing it. But now I'm getting to the point where F it, bro. I'm feeling if I feel any type of disrespect on any type of level where I feel like it's warranted for me to swing on you, I'm swinging.
Damn.
Everybody else get to do it. Let me have some fun. Nigga, I like street fighting. I ain't got down in the streets in a minute. So
Yeah.
when I see a bunch of this stuff, bro, and I feel like there's a lot of disrespect that be happening to us and only us a lot of times, I'm like, F it, bro. Let's just run this fade. I'm
Yeah.
really
I mean,
turning to Aaron the Plumber. It's crazy, nigga. Let's run this.
shout out your twin.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, speaking about people hitting other people and shit like that, we got all of Team Makhachev, punching on dudes at
Yeah,
UFC 322 or something like
yeah.
that. Nothing gonna happen or what?
Right, right. So actually, the
Dylan
mayor,
Dennis getting the penalty?
the mayor is actually doing something about it. I forget his name. Shout out to him. Dang, I forgot his name. But he said anybody that was involved in it, right? Y'all gonna get penalized. But them boys then head right back over to Russia, bro. So they the brotherhood, they gone.
I mean, I think they should
But the
revoke
US,
some visas.
but the UFC not finna do nothing though. Like you said, like Dana said, bro, it's the fight biz. Things happen. All right, things gonna start happening now.
I
Let's
mean,
go.
kind of, but when you ban Dylan Dennis and Shalko's the one fucking punching on him, it's kind of like, bro, this guy hasn't even made his UFC debut yet. Like, you're still gonna let him banning Dennis, but
Like I said, let me feel uncomfortable any type of way, bro. Let me feel uncomfortable in any type of way now.
you're swinging.
I'm swinging. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm
All
fearful
right.
for my life.
Okay. And just with this whole 6 months out, right? You've been okay with the 6 months out? Would you have liked to return sooner? Because this previous card that Islam fought on, it was a big welterweight card. I mean,
Mhm.
you could have possibly been matched up against some of
I-
these guys like a Leon, a
No,
Prates.
no, no. I should have fought Morales that night.
Okay, so you would have liked to
Sean
kind of
Brady,
return earlier.
yeah, it would like to, not to, don't matter. Like, I think at the end of the day, it's a business, right? And for myself, regardless if I wanted to show back up, I just knew let me get ready for a potential fight, right? And I was already thinking about Morales gonna be my next opponent. Let me go ahead and get this body back in shape just in case they get the calling. But end up finding out they want Morales versus Sean Brady. I'm like, well, that's weird, right? I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, Sean Brady ain't gonna take that. Oh, he accepted. I'm like, ooh, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Because now you allow this dude that's number 8 to skip up all these steps and go straight to number 2, which is crazy because now I'm trying to do the same shit and motherfuckers got proud. Like I hate, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's just that double. Like, I hate that stuff, bro. But regardless, though, Michael Morales ended up beating, Sean Brady and all that other stuff. But my thing is like, you gotta have time to allow your body to rest. Already gave the UFC and I gave a lot of people a lot of good mileage, you know what I'm saying, when it came to these fights, right? Especially in 2024, having 4 fights, right? And then right after that, I went straight with Usman, you know what I'm saying, for 2025. I was just like, all right, let me sit back and just, yet again, just work on detailed work, right? Fine tune some things. So I think time away was definitely beneficial. But I myself, I'm ready to come back now. I'm
Okay.
ready to come back now.
And the reason why I asked that question is because there's another narrative where it's like you could have been just being like, let me sit out. You guys show me what you can do, and I'm gonna pick the best opponent out of what you guys show me you can do.
I mean,
Because you've been putting in work.
you can say that too, yeah. But like, yeah, like let them fuck their body up too.
I mean, without saying it, that's what I was trying to say.
Anytime you step into that octagon and you step out, bro, you never leave the same, right?
People don't consider that. That's what I was trying to say without saying it.
So with that being said, yeah, like let them dudes put in some work real quick. So like I said, I didn't put in more work than they did in the past 4 years. So you talk about from Prates, you talk about from Michael Morales, you talk about Shavkat. They all either 7-0, 6-0. I don't think none of them in double digits. I don't think none of them in double digits. To be honest with you, they don't have double digits in the UFC, right?
Fights.
But what do you mean by that? Right, fights. I got 16 fights in the UFC, but we all been signed around the same time, right? Me and Shavkat got signed around the same time. Me and what's that boy name? I think Mike Morales came out, what, 21?
Yeah, 21, 22.
Right. Anyways, the type of amount of fight. Ooh, JDM, right? JDM, another good one. I don't think he got double digit fights in the UFC.
No, I don't think so either.
So with that being said, it's just the amount of work that I've been putting into the UFC, they haven't done yet, right? So I think I'm warranted a break, my guy. Like
I agree.
Let me sit back, see what the division do, like you said again. And to be honest with you, they really ain't doing nothing. We seen a good switch up. We seen a good switch up with Prates and Leon and Sean Brady and Michael Morales. But other than that, that's about it. And be honest with you, it's two easier fights now, right? Like all those two guys, I believe, just got a lot of hype behind them right now. And yes, they did beat two great fighters, but yet again, with Sean Brady, he's scary. He got caught. With Leon, he was winning the fight and just got sent to the king. You know what I'm saying? Not making one mistake. But other than that, do I think Prates or Michael Morales are the more skilled fighters than Sean Brady and Leon? No, I don't think so. And again, I would love. Don't let me just be talking. Set it up. That's still a good fight for me. And now they were fighting because they above me, right? Now, if I would have beat them at a time where they was underneath me, guess what they would have said? Oh, man, fraud check, right? And all this other stuff. So now the wins wouldn't have been worth anything. Now, once I beat them, now I take their number and not just get them on my resume as a record.
Okay. And the Shavkat fight, in my opinion, makes a little bit more sense because he'd been out for so long, right? And I'm going to get to why it makes more sense. Because what do you think about people saying that, you don't deserve a Morales or a Prates fight because they're coming off wins? Maybe you got to fight like a Brady or a Leon.
I mean, that's still good money too.
Would you fight a Brady though? Like,
I'll fight. Would a Brady fight me is the question, right? He want to move down to 155. He want to go to lightweight now.
how would you feel though if he'd been denying you this whole time though, right? Then he comes off a loss and now he's down bad. And now he's going to come crawling back to you after all these years of ignoring you. Like, does that make you feel a type of way or anything?
No, because I'm finna get my bread. I'm finna make this money either way.
Okay, so you're not tripping out any of that stuff. You're down to fight him.
Yeah, bring Brady Brunch here. Come here. Yeah, I need that.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of fans want to see that one. When I've been asking them, that's one of the ones they throw out there.
Sean
Brady.
don't want that fight. Yeah, Sean don't want that fight.
Okay. So you're not confident in that one happening. You got a better chance of fighting Leon, you think, or something like that? Or like, do you think you could fight a Morales?
We ain't gonna see Leon for a year. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We ain't gonna see Leon for a whole year.
Okay, then with that also being said,
he was like this.
With that also being said, though, would you be like? Do you think you can campaign for a protest fight or something? Maybe Morales if he's not fighting JDM.
But right now, the fun shit is with Shavkat.
Okay.
I got some good stuff for Prates. I definitely got some good stuff for Michael Morales if I want to, you know what I'm saying, get on his bumper. But right now, let me stick on Shavkat.
Okay, so you're zeroed in on Shavkat. Sights are set on him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for sure. And before I move on to the next topic, I just wanted to ask you because I got to ask you about this one. I think you said something to Izzy like, you called him like a sweet motherfucker, and you give him a taste, but you don't like boy puss.
You funny as hell.
You wilding on that one, but can you come on, elaborate on that one a little bit for us? Give the people
elaborate on what?
Okay, what does sweet mean? Sweet means like zesty?
Yeah. I mean, right now the community is strong. The community is strong within the UFC. Matter of fact, I don't want no problem. I don't want no smoke with them zesty folks, right? But yeah, you know, Izzy different. I ain't gotta explain it. You know what I'm saying? What's understood ain't gotta be explained, bro. Anybody that be putting them French tips on their nails, you know what I'm saying? Be twerking out there before they get into their fight. Like, you different, big fella. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, yeah. You definitely part of the community. He definitely part of the community. Don't get it twisted.
Okay, for sure. You'd still be down to run it with him down the line, maybe if he still stays in the UFC?
It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. It's not even a realistic fight to even entertain. But like I said, let you feel some type of way outside this motherfucker.
Better not cross paths at the PI then.
I love to work, bro. I love to work. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I said, a lot of these other dudes, I don't think they come from that background on how they got into fighting, you know? This is how I started. Like, this literally is my base. So if you really want to run it like that, let's do it. If you really feel some type of way. But if we talk about business, that ain't no good business. It don't even make no sense.
Okay. And another big topic about the welterweight division right now is who the number one contender is. Ian Gary just beat Bilal. Do you think he's like the guaranteed number one contender? Or who's guaranteed? I know we got all that stuff going on with Islam and whatnot, but so that's gonna delay things an extra minute too.
Islam on tour and selling, them pockets on telegrams and stuff like that. Like, we ain't gonna see Islam for a minute. So my biggest thing is, yeah, Ian Gary definitely is the person that should be the rightful person to fight for the title next. But at the end of the day, man, your performances, bro, are lackluster. Like, the performance that he had even against Bilal, like, it wasn't, to me, it still wasn't a fun fight, And I believe that he really could have knocked out Bilal, right? And he said that, oh man, Bilal was just tough. Like, no, like, you just didn't put it on him that night because you were so fearful of getting taken down and all this XYZ, right? And it allows you to yet again have a performance that yet again does not represent a person to get the belt, right? And when you talk about pride test, when you talk about Michael Morales, do I believe they're more talented than Ian Gary? No. But when they go out there and fight, boy, them performances speak for themselves.
They actually fight, right? So to speak. I feel like that's what you're trying
fight,
to say.
But they fight to the level of, like, I'm trying to get you out of there.
Yeah.
Ian Gary fights like on the level like, I'm just trying to get my hand raised. It's a difference, right? So with that being said, the UFC understands that, and I'm like, why not just make the fight between Islam and Usman so they can both disappear?
Retire after that or something? Double
Both
retirement?
of them. Islam is not going to just be here all day. Islam, if he beats Kamaru Usman, who is arguably one of the best welterweight fighters in the world, he said, I did it. I've done it all, right? I'll beat Habib, right, when it comes to the title defenses, right? So now I'm over with my brother when it comes to the lightweight division. I beat GOAT welterweight status, right, and Kamaru Usman. And at the same time, I achieved both belts at the same time. I've done it all. There's nothing else you can do. Islam, there ain't nothing else you can do. What you gonna go up there?
Well, they got that Ilya fight potentially.
No, we do got it, but Ilya working on his own stuff right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the little whatever little promotion that he got going on. But
I just saw that today, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they doing numbers. They doing numbers right now.
That shit's on Ronaldo's YouTube channel.
Crazy.
That's some serious fucking clout right there.
That's crazy. But anyway, just back on it, like, no matter how that fight go, and then if Usman win, he say, what he doing? He said he's just gonna go straight up to middleweight and then try to fight for that belt. So either way, he's not gonna stay at 170, right? So with that being said, you leave 2 spots open.
Vacant title fight or something like that.
So if I'm Shavkat, if I'm Ian Gary, if I'm Protest, if I'm Michael Morales, let them boys do what they do, and then let us all run it, the new era of the 170 division.
Okay. Speaking about all of it, is there like a map out that you see works out for everybody? Like, meaning, should Morales fight somebody? Should that kind of type of thing?
No, like I said, let Usman and Islam run it. Fight for that belt. They both retire. Some tell me both of them going to retire on that night, on that day, for whatever our reason. And then guess what? Now you got 2 people that's able to challenge for that belt. And then now you got everything in rotation. Because the only people that would have held anything up is Usman or Islam. But everybody else, us young guns right now, we gonna keep it moving. That's why I wasn't excited when Islam beat JDM, because JDM ain't got nothing else to live for but this fighting stuff, right? So he was gonna constantly keep fighting, like champions like a Marab, you know what I mean? We want guys like that at the 170 division,
Keep things moving.
Just keep it moving, because the more people get opportunities like that, right? Jan not finna do that same thing. Peter Yan ain't finna do that. He finna hold on to that belt as long as he can until he run out a little bit of money. All right, now I'm ready, right? So you gotta appreciate people that keeps the division moving.
Okay. So you're a little bit disappointed when JDM lost. I think I watched the live. You were saying we're all rooting for JDM right now.
I was crying with him. I was crying.
What'd you make of the performance?
By who?
JDM.
I knew that. I called that fight, man. I called it exactly how I was going. Mystic Manson be calling it, bro. Like, Mystic Manson be acting like he actually know what he's talking about. Oh, nah, man, it just styles makes fights, bro. And I'm already knowing what Gilbert Burns was able to do to him. Islam was going to expose all that night.
That's true, right? Because he had that Hail Mary finish on Gilbert, but before that,
That's
he was
all
kind
that
of getting
was. That
dominated by
whole fight,
grappling.
though. Yeah, but you got to look at the whole story of the fight, not just one moment.
Okay. Also, like, let's say you do get that Shavkat fight in your head. Are you planning on, like, campaigning for a title shot after that, or like, what happens with the
Oh,
win over Shavkat?
it put me at number 3.
Put you at number 3.
And for me, I'm advocate this. Let them boys fight for that belt. Because I want everybody else on my, like, once I fight for the title after that, because I know I could and I know I will, I got a lot of good names that I can defend my title against.
When you say let them boys fight for the belt, who?
Usman and Islam.
Okay.
Let them fight.
And then, just so I understand, how do you fit into that again? If you beat Shavkat, then you're gonna fight for the vacant title.
No, okay. Yeah,
Help me out here.
No, you're right. You're right.
All right.
I'm not going to just keep fighting like that. I'll be shocked. That put me at number 3. Let Usman and Islam run it, right? Whoever win don't matter to me, right? I just feel like in my heart, there's nothing else for them to accomplish. They did it already. They both gonna leave. No matter who win, lose, they both gonna leave the division, and it leaves it open, and that leads me to fight Ian Gary. Let me give you a name.
There we go. Okay. Now it's making sense.
Wow.
Got you.
Beat Ian Gary for the vacant UFC title.
Okay.
Damn, boy, I be cooking.
There we go. The fight we all wanted last December, you versus Ian Gary. Let's go. Okay. All right. We got a lot of beef there. That fight's inevitable.
Man, and like I said, I ain't gonna call him, what I'm saying, what I've been calling him no more.
Yeah.
He earned his right to, but I think me and Ian Gary just overall stylistically, bro, it's fireworks. It's fireworks. Stylistically, it's great fireworks.
And then you beat the guy who took his O, right, with the expired number 1 contender status. I mean, that puts you right up in there.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you'll be looking to defend the belt against these other guys like Morales, Prates.
Boy, God is good, ain't it?
There we go. That's why I need you to lay it out for me.
So now I ain't got to hunt no more. I ain't got to call people out no more once I become a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Come here. That's it. And that's what I've been waiting on all my life, because I've been calling out my shot this whole time. Once I get that belt, I ain't got to call my shot no more.
Okay.
Everybody, if you want what I got, you got to come and get it.
Got you.
But you better be having some numbers coming behind that, though.
Facts. That's why I keep asking if you want to fight Brady, because I don't know. I'm like, dude, don't even fucking fight him.
Mm-hmm.
But you're down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm down because that's a check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's some guys with these fights that happened recently. We were talking yesterday with Brady and stuff like that. And you were telling me that you thought he was the better fighter than Morales.
Yeah.
Going into it. And I did too. I don't really fuck with Brady that heavy. He blocked me too after a while. But anyway, I was backing him. I thought that Brady was going to win it too. I was surprised that he lost the fight, especially in the first round. But we were talking, and you said he doesn't have like necessarily a fighter spirit, right?
Yeah.
So for you, when you go in there, you don't really factor, like, how much do you factor in your health and safety? Because that's what you're trying to say about Brady, right? He was a little bit too concerned about his health and safety.
No. Yeah, don't get it twisted. I factor that in all the time.
Okay.
The reason why I do factor that in, people forget about this one major rule in fighting, and that can happen to you. You want to guess what that is?
Brain damage.
Okay. So you think that's the worst thing that can happen is brain damage, right? So CTE, right?
Probably, or just getting knocked out in general.
Right. That's the worst thing you say can happen.
Probably right now, yeah.
Death. You can die.
Oh yeah, you can. You can.
There's a little chance that you step into the octagon and never walk out. People fail to realize that. And I train as if, yet again, I'm got my life on the line, because it is on the line, So with that being said, yes, I fight with a warrior spirit, and I fight to keep myself safe, But also the way I train, I'm not only just training to survive, I'm training to kill. Because that's what I'm essentially believing, that's what you're trying to do to me. So if you're not training on the same level as me, yet again, I believe that we could see a first potential body in the UFC, but it's only going to have to come from a person that really trains like that and against a person who don't believe that they can be violated like that.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So in that video, when you said someone finna die,
All this
you coming for a body in that next one.
for all of them.
Okay.
What my man Mike said, he said it best. If they don't die, it don't count.
Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always had that mentality going into the fights, or is there something that kind of switched
Always.
recently?
No. I've always had the best mentality, street mentality, when it comes to the actual fight cage, because at the end of the day, that's what that is. You know, if there ain't no referee around and you just out there just getting in with somebody, if you get knocked out, bro, that could be the end of your life, because they could just keep hitting you, and you never wake up again. So you got to be on your in your guard, right? All about what they say, cross your T's and dot your I's. You better be quick with it, right? So with that being said, I use that same mentality within the actual octagon, within the actual cage, and don't play with it. Like, every strike could be lethal. So don't allow yourself just to take unnecessary damage out there, because you never know which one is going to be that one.
Okay. Also, I know that you get a lot of support online, but I'm just wondering if it's rubbed you any type of way. A lot of people also hating right now after the Usman loss. Like, how you been handling all that stuff in general?
No, I love it all. Just keep more attention, more attention, more attention.
You
As
got like
long
a clap back or anything to these people who say, like, you lost to no knees Usman, you don't got wrestling and shit like that?
I would say, well, it ain't necessarily clap back, because watch the success. Keep watching, right? Allow yourself to keep coming on my page, right? And commenting and saying stuff and watching what I do. Everything. They watch everything that I do, right? So your biggest supporters are your haters. They always gonna show up in the comments. They always gonna be in the DMs. They always gonna be trying to like get attention from you. But at the end of the day, just keep my name relevant, baby. Just keep doing what y'all doing, and watch me become what you said I'd never be. Right?
I got you.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
eating it up then. All that shit talk.
Always. I love it. I
Keep that
love it.
same energy when I win.
Yeah. And they not, because one thing I would say, I still haven't had negative interactions in
In
person.
person.
I haven't had it. Not one time. Not one time. Not even with the Uzbeks. It's always been love. So when I get all that it's fake. It's fake to me. And then if I do comment, if I do bless somebody with my time and attention, be like, man, shut up, like whatever. If I say something to them, oh man, my bad, I'm a big fan. Well, damn, boy, you switched up quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, keep that same energy, but they just want to be seen. They just want to be noticed. So they got to come up with some negativity, some low vibrations to try to bring you over to where they at, But it ain't gonna work. Yet again, let me be the inspiration in your life to change your heart. Because at the end of the day, Buck is not going to be infected negatively about this. He's going to keep pushing and working towards this dream and becoming one of the best in the world.
It's probably even more motivation
while
for
I'm
you.
talking shit and wasting my time being in his DMs or being on his page commenting, I could be putting in work right now, because Buck was able to put himself in this position on his own.
Right. Something I realized when I was younger, I always say this too. I don't know if I told you this before. I don't think so. But like, the way I look at hate is like, what takes more energy, to support somebody or to hate on them, right? Obviously to hate. And then energy, because I just said which one takes more energy. Energy, it doesn't go anywhere. It's like, it's never ending, right? So if they put out all the energy on you, it's never ending. It's like a law of physics. That energy got to go back to you. So they take a lot of energy out of themselves. They hate on you, right? And then that got to go somewhere. You reap all those rewards. You kind of suck it in. No Diddy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. Sorry, I couldn't. I was trying to think of another one. I couldn't.
I wasn't gonna say that. Bomb, y'all.
But you feel me on that one? You feel me on that one?
Not on that one, but I would say this. I would say this, right? And
Yeah.
in reverse though, right? It's like all that negative energy that they trying to put on you is because they getting so much negative energy around. Whatever lifestyle, whatever things and situations that's going on in their real life, the reason why they so mad at you is because they seeing a life that you living that they won't, right? And they looking at their little weak ass life and what they got going on. They like, man, I got shit going on. Let me try to F up this dude day. But they ain't gonna work over here, right? Like your comments can only reach me and make it so far, and it ain't never gonna touch my heart. I might see it 100%. I might see it, but you're never going to penetrate my heart because I already know where I done came from. That was real wicked, you know. And I had days where I literally cried to God Himself, like, bro, change my life, man, for the better, because I really got some wicked things on my mind on how I'm gonna do it myself. But if I take that route, the dream shit is gonna be over with. And me asking that from God and Him putting me in a position where I can do things for myself, right? It led me to where I am now today. So a lot of people that, like I said, they waste their times typing in on their phone and commenting. You put them hands to better use, man, and change your life. Because if you really focus on yourself and have better energy towards yourself, you wouldn't even have time to be making negative comments about somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Well, and look at all the stuff you've been through with the gym bullshit on multiple occasions,
Yeah.
right? And now look at where you are now. So that shit had to have fueled you a little bit, maybe even subconsciously.
You talking about the comments? No, that's just the life
No,
stuff.
I'm even just switching it over to like, because you were saying how you pray to God, right? Because you were gonna try to figure out how to get shit on your own. But I'm saying, I think the reason why you're saying that is because that whole gym thing early in your career, then that whole James Krause thing. But I'm saying that kind of stuff probably fueled you, and look where you're at now,
Right, right.
right? The people who kind
Um,
of like turn their back on you, so to speak.
but those are real people, real scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
The computer hate, that's what I'm talking about. That ain't real, right?
Got you.
But the people that came into my life for certain seasons, they came into my life for certain reasons, right? And once I was able to learn what I need to learn from them, whether negative or positive, I got rid of them, you know? And all those different moments that happened within my career needed to happen for me to do what I'm doing right now, right? So those are all learning curves, Even me going out to Michigan and going out third, right? Like I'm glad I did that because I learned a lot from them, but I still had to do it at home. But I only realized I could do it at home because I went to Michigan where I didn't have anything either. I didn't have a main training partners to work with every single day. You know what I'm saying? All I did was wait or work harder than everybody else. That's all I did. I outworked everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, the same things that I'm doing there in Michigan, I'm missing time away from my family. I need to come back home and just do the same thing here, right? But I would have never had the confidence to do that if I was just in St. Louis, if that makes sense, right? Because I would have never believed me stepping out into the octagon that I felt prepared, right? And now that I've learned all those different things, and I realized, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of things that people do in these big ass gyms with these big name coaches, but they still not doing it right, right? Because a lot of these fighters, just let's keep it a bean, they lazy. But the gyms allow their fighters to be lazy.
Because they
Because
got so many fighters anyway.
yeah, they got so many fighters, which is one thing, but the fighters are so dependent on the coaches, right? I access people's ability and they talent, which is my coaches, like and what they can do, but I don't depend on them to create things for me, if that makes sense, right? I know exactly what the systems I want to work on, and then if I don't have that knowledge or if I don't have that base, I find somebody with it, and then I learn it. And then if it's something else I want to work, I find another person, right? But I don't ever rely on somebody just to be like, okay, but this is what you're gonna do on this day, this is what you're gonna do on that day, and it like, nah, because I know exactly what I need to do for myself. And if anything, if you allow somebody else to do it and you don't work that hard for it, you never go well, you gonna always take it for granted, right? And you never gonna really push yourself to a limit where yet again you're gonna be the best in the world. Because you're gonna be always working on somebody else's opinion or thoughts about you, right? If they tell me, hey Buck, this is your last rep, in my mind, I got one more. You know what I'm saying?
You're not done till you're done, necessarily.
When I know I'm done,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of these other fighters, man, they dictate their coaches on how they perform and what they do. And yet again, a lot of these coaches don't even believe in the guys that they got.
Mm-hmm. I think
But
the
I
same
believe
thing goes with like fighters not making names for themselves, just relying on the UFC to do it for them too.
they lazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. That stuff ever rub you the wrong way when you see fighters like not really creating a name for themselves because you're out here promoting, right? Campaigning, putting in all this effort.
All this work.
You have that ever annoy you that other fighters don't do that? They just solely
It
rely
do.
on the UFC to push their name?
Right, but the UFC ain't even pushing it.
Well, that's the thing.
I can't name not one person we finna watch tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know who fighting. I really don't. I
It's
just
the
know it's
Brandon
that.
Royval versus Manel Kape fight.
That's cool. I ain't know that.
Yeah.
I just know for sure because it's Saturday, it's a fight going on. Right. That's what the UFC has done a great job. Saturday, there's a fight going on. Right. Every Saturday, get ready, it's some bouts on. So with fighters not being able to really promote themselves as they should, I feel like you're not hurting the UFC, but you're hurting yourself and you're doing yourself a disservice because at the end of the day, they just need us for one thing, and that's to show up and fight, right? But for us, if we want to be able to negotiate, if we want to be able to make better money, if we want to have a fight, have a life after fight, the social media game is definitely there for us. And it's nothing that you have to do that is crazy. All you got to do is show who you are in real life, in real time on camera, right? And brand yourself. And to be honest with you, it's another job. It's another discipline that you have to do, right? It took a minute for me. Like I have a great gift on being on camera, but at the same time, I realized, I said, bro, this is a job in itself, right? So I had to create days where I had to make content days, you know? And like, this is what I'm gonna shoot. This is what I'm shooting about. What is the purpose of me shooting this, right? Like, is this gonna help me lead into another fight? Is this me trying to sell some merch? Like, what is this gonna do for me, right? But a lot of fighters, like I said before, they don't they don't know the power of social media right now, right? And social media has helped me get fights. It's not me working hard and being in the gym 24/7. It's me, what they say, running my mouth on social media. That's how I got my fights, right? So why would I stop that? And then a lot of guys, they complain, oh man, I'm trying to get more fights. How are you trying to get more fights? How? Who are you trying to fight? Who's the next guy? Because after every time a person wins, they don't say nothing. They don't call out their shot. They don't call out the next person. Oh, I'm gonna just let the UFC decide. It doesn't matter who I fight. I'm down to fight anybody. And they thinking they sound tough when they say that. No, pick a stylistic fight that you feel like you will whoop that dude ass, and you tell him, right? Whoever that might be. Like, it's not that hard, but a lot of guys I feel like haven't been taught that either though. So I gotta give the fighters a break too, because ain't nobody teach me that either. I had to just learn it, but I think it's common sense, but at the same time, common sense ain't so common.
Kinda. Yeah, I mean, it's super common sense to me too, but that's because it's my job to kinda do that. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of them, they don't understand it. I think, yeah, it's gotta be that or they have fear of backlash,
What backlash?
like getting called on their words if they
When
lose to the guy they called out.
you step out into the octagon, everybody ain't undefeated, right? Majority of people that's in the octagon is not undefeated, and a good amount of y'all probably ain't got knocked out before. You took a lot of good backlash, right? So they gonna hate you regardless. They not gonna like you if you lose anyway, right? Because you messed up their money. So my thing is, don't focus on what people say or what people got to do with when it comes to the fans. You focus on getting yourself paid because we got a short window of opportunity to be able to be an incredible sport like this. Don't waste it trying to not be humble. It's not be humble. Like, don't waste it trying to be small, right? Like, these guys, they don't want to believe in themselves. Truthfully, they don't. A lot of guys that's in the UFC don't believe they can be a world champion. And that's the truth. So with that being said, as a fighter, you should have more belief in yourself. And with that belief, don't be scared to say it and confess it to the world and manifest it, you know? And that's probably what the real reason is. A lot of these people will show that they're not really confident within themselves if they really kind of portray who they are on social media.
I see. Okay. Because also I know you like Volk as well, but that whole thing with how he's getting that Diego Lopez rematch, you think that like Lerone missed that because he doesn't know how to promote himself? Like he done everything, right? He undefeated, spinning
Oh
back
no.
elbow.
Let me fuck you. Live time. I don't know if I follow Lerone Murphy.
Okay.
I don't think I follow. And where Lerone Murphy from again?
From London.
Okay. Murphy.
But like just to even give like some free game, like I listened to his interview with Ariel after he got kind of like snubbed for that. And Ariel's like, "Well, would you like to fight on that same card as Volk versus Lopez to kind of
Uh-huh.
set yourself up for a call out if you win?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "Not really." And I'm just like, "Damn, bro, you still don't get it."
Mm.
You know,
So,
because the UFC will why do you think Ian Gary fought the week after UFC 322?
right,
Because
right,
he was put in a position to call out Islam with a win,
right.
you know? But some guys just don't see that, I guess.
He undefeated too.
Undefeated, like 7-0-1,
Yeah. Crazy elbow knockout.
probably knockout of the year contender, right? At least
Right.
contender.
Yeah, 100%. And he called it the spinneroni, you know. I'm looking at his page. Actions speak louder than words, you know. Okay, that's one thing. Yeah, it's just a lot of training photos. It looked like he called a shot on her. Two sides of the coin, rose petals come with thorns, violence pending, ready to go against anybody, right? But
They're
put
more
that
of these subliminal messages instead of like
right,
boom in your face.
right. Yeah, fuck to anybody, call your shot,
Yeah.
right? When it comes to a person like Lerone Murphy, like it's easy for him now because he's undefeated. That's what I would use, right? Him being 17-0, him having a knockout of the year, being the knockout of the year candidate, you know what I'm saying, for 2025. I feel like, you know, that in itself, like while we trying to replay this fight that we had with Diego Lopez and Volk, right? You have a new contender within myself who hasn't even taken the L. If that's the case, don't reward this kid with another title shot in my eyes, right? Reward him to me and let me show you guys what I can do to Lopez, right? Because I think he did say one thing that I did see. He's like, I'm willing to move up because the division's just not moving, right? And it's not that the division not moving, you ain't making no moves. And my thing is too, it's like a lot of people will be like, well, it's not in my character to call people out, right? Or make fun of people. You don't have to do any of that. Just tell people how great you are and they already be mad. I know Lerone Murphy believe in himself because he wouldn't get this far being 17 and 0 and going out there starching guys. Just literally just tell people how great you are and they gonna get mad. And then that right there is gonna put you in a position, be like, hey, let's find out if you're really that good or not. Right? Because even the UFC like to test our mentality, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's me, right?
Okay. So you're saying they don't gotta talk shit even.
You just say
Just
what you
brag,
feel
pop your
comfortable.
shit, right? Pop your shit. Don't talk shit on someone, pop your own shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And if somebody catches straight, they catch it straight, but you're confident in yourself, right? Yeah. All right. Free game from Buck then.
Free game, bro. Free game. I'm
Okay.
gonna come up with a whole book for y'all in the future. Mm-hmm.
No, a lot of guys don't get it, but that's okay. I mean, I think they're just so locked in on fighting sometimes that they don't watch as much TV as, I mean, at least I do. I don't know about you, as far as the UFC production. So I see these things from a mile away. Like just speaking on Lerone, he fought um Josh Emmett the week before Volk fought Lopez the first time, right? And Lerone headlined the week before, just like Ian Gary and Bilal type shit, right? But when Lerone won, Octagon interview, they asked him to put a name on it. I'll fight anyone. It's like, bro, you don't even know that Volk's fighting next weekend. Call out the
So,
winner of that shit.
so,
But
so it's like this though, right? And yet again, this is another free game. Prepare for your post-fight interview, just like you prepare for your fight.
right, right,
Ain't gotta be nothing fake. Ain't gotta be nothing fake. My man Todd Miner, shout out to him. I'm gonna give him because he gave me this game. Think about 3 topic points that you want to hit. And hit them things when you out there and you on that mic. Whether that's a call out for a fight, whether that's a potential big name sponsor movie deal, right? Whatever, like whether that's even just announcing something to the fans, because you never fought and whatever wherever area that you at, right? So you just want to show them love. So one of the things that I did that was in my fight with Kobe, it was 3 talking points that I wanted to hit. I wanted to talk about faith, I wanted to talk about family, and I wanted to involve the fans. I didn't have a script. I just wanted to hit those 3 things. That makes sense? And as long as I hit those 3 things, I felt like that everything that did on that mic was worth it. Because a lot of guys don't realize we don't get paid like that anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? We ain't making $10 million, $15 million. Ooh, that'd be nice. Ooh, Lord. Boy, that'd be nice as hell. But we do win the opportunity. Like once you do get a win in the UFC, that mic is worth more than money because you got 60 seconds to tell the world however you feel. And a lot of people ain't got that type of platform, right? The president of the United States ain't got that type of platform. Dead ass, dead serious. And now that we on Paramount, you know what I'm saying? It's even more massive, right? So with that being said, you have to be very strategic, not only in the octagon, but when you get that mic.
Right.
Now
I
that's
think a
a
lot
real
of guys.
now that's a real game for your ass.
Right, because a lot of guys, I think that Octagon interview like an afterthought. You know, like it wasn't even
Uh,
really considered till they find themselves in that moment, which is kind of crazy to me, but I think it's kind of normal for a lot of guys.
and it's sad because did you not plan on winning?
Yeah. But then again, that's why I say they rely so much on the UFC to promote them that they fail to realize when they got to promote themselves. Not even that they didn't think they were going to win, right? It's just they think that the UFC is going to just keep promoting them, and they don't do that. We already talked about that. They're not promoting people right now.
It's not well. I'm not gonna say it's not their job. Then they're gonna get at me. Their job is to put on great fights. That's it. As long as people getting spent around, you know what I'm saying? Uh, they did their job. At the end of the day, if you want to be a bigger name or you want to be a household name, that's on you. And that, you don't only do that via in the octagon. You do that outside of the octagon. You do that with interviews. You do that with content. You do that with what's another way you do that? Well, shoot, if you got branding deals, right? Where the regular folks or regular eye can see you outside of just the octagon, because you got still people that don't watch the UFC like that, but they still knew who Conor McGregor was, right? They still knew who Chuck Liddell was,
Do you
because they
think guys get it
recognized.
twisted? I don't want to cut you off. You want to finish that? Okay. Do you think guys get it twisted when like they get like a bump in a following after a win or something? Because I know you guys be getting like 20K followers after a win and shit like that. Maybe they think like, oh, I'm
Some
big
people,
now.
some, oh hell no. Some people don't like even when off win. I see some guys they still don't even get 1,000 followers on that shit.
Damn.
Crazy.
How many you got before? What's the most you ever got? You ever look into that?
Uh, obviously after that kick, bro. I literally got 100,000 off of that kick, bro. It
Damn,
was
that's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, I say after every fight, I say about 25,000, 30,000, easy. After
Okay.
every,
But then you gotta take that, right? And you gotta push out more content to fucking feed those new followers. I think a lot of guys are just content with like, boom, I got a boost in the following. But pivot off of that.
like I said, it's a job. It's
It's a
literally
job.
itself, and if you don't have a system behind doing it, it's gonna feel very random, right? When you post and when you start to do it, and once you start to get like a good edge on it, it's just like, okay, what's the purpose behind me posting all this stuff now, right? I got a purpose behind all the stuff that I'm doing, and like people don't even realize I got game after this fighting stuff, But the thing is though, it's with consistency and me doing it and getting better as a content creator myself, right? It's like once I get done fighting, I got something else to fall back on, which is gonna be dope.
Okay. A few more for you. But the UFC White House card, you looking to fight on there and stuff like that?
Yeah, man, but it don't seem like they don't want no Americans on that card, bro. Obviously, man, like my man Donald Trump said, bro, they got all title fights. We got all title fights on. Non-title fights is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that's every weight class, bro.
Can't be
Including,
though.
including the female. You gotta add the girls in there. Um, and with that being said, right, it's just like, are we gonna have any Americans on this White House card? That's my real question. Like, that's the next question somebody should ask. Then, like, are we gonna have any Americans on this White House card? And if so, who? Who's gonna be? I would love for Dana to answer that one.
I mean, I would like to see probably the three biggest American stars.
Okay,
You, Sean Strickland, Bryce Mitchell.
okay, okay. I like that. I
Yeah.
thought you would have said Bo Nigga. I ain't gonna lie.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
thought you were gonna say Bo. Yeah.
No. Bryce
But
Mitchell a fucking star now.
he is a star.
He a
Yeah,
fucking star, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like Bryce Mitchell gonna forever be just who he is, and that's exactly why his name is always gonna be a value, right?
And he's not afraid to show it.
That part, and he's the type of individual that life after fighting, he gonna have a life after fighting. Like UFC can like literally cut him, he's still gonna be straight. If that makes sense. He's still gonna be good.
For sure, because he got a real fan base, because he lets people know who he is. That's why I don't think it's a real fan base just when you get followers off of a fight. Like, you gotta pivot that and turn them into real fans. Because yeah, they followed you from a win, but you gotta turn them into a real fan, let them inside, know who you are.
Right, right, right. And he unapologetic with it too. You know, like I said, there's some things and some viewpoints that I wouldn't even mention just because I
Yeah,
keep things private to myself. But yet again, that's not Bryce Mitchell. He gonna tell you exactly what's on his mind, and
right. Even if I disagree, I can respect it. You feel me?
that's how you feel. That's
Yeah.
shit.
Because I like him being authentic, that's all. If there's a couple speed bumps down the road, that's fine. You know, he's still being authentic. Everybody gonna mess up sometimes. You know, with
Mm.
the you know what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna fucking say it.
Don't go back
uh,
down that rabbit hole, as you
no,
might
no,
say.
no. But I want to ask you another one with this whole Zuffa boxing thing, and just I don't
Ooh,
know. Consider how you answer this, because I feel like sometimes the UFC don't like it when you're like looking over the hill. But like, what do you think of Zuffa boxing or boxing in general? Mm-hmm.
and the reason why I'm clapping and giving the applause is Dana finally doing what he always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. He
He
was at USA Boxing tournament today. I think
he
he's
all
scouting some fighters.
He always, yeah, of course. He always wanted to be a boxer promoter before he even got into this MMA stuff, right? So I gotta applaud Dana for, holding it down and creating some, for guys like myself in order to be able to fight on a platform like the UFC. But it never stopped him from working on how can I be able to involve myself in boxing, which, yet again, whether people see it as a negative thing or not, right? He really is a good thing for boxing when it comes to these other guys not being able to make a name for themselves and giving them an opportunity to at least be able to eat, right? Now is you gonna be making what Canelo was making in them, like in Bud? Probably not. But you ain't gotta work at the UPS if you a professional boxer. Right? You ain't gotta be working at, what I'm saying, fast food restaurant if you're a professional boxer, right? So it's gonna give a lot of boxers out there more opportunity. And my thing too as well. No, fuck it, I'm looking over the hill. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is another great spot for me to be able to also showcase my talent and my skills in boxing. And I know I heard what Dana said, like, oh well, we're not gonna allow UFC fighters. Nah, nah, F that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me show you what I can do, right? Before you just come out and claim like you don't want us UFC fighters to be able to, come out there and make that extra money too. Because yet again, you got to feed the promotion, right? You got to feed the promotion with other big names, and at the same time, these boxer dudes that they will be putting on, they ain't got no names, right? So allow us, your UFC talent, to come out there who can actually compete, not just get fucking slaughtered, but can actually compete, can actually put on a good fight, and allow us to help build that Zuffa brand.
Mm. Kind of almost like how you and Pat Downey went against each other. You know, you have the name as a UFC fighter, right? But
Exactly,
then take like a boxer, so to speak, and
exactly.
pair him up
I'm a
against each
way,
other.
I'm a way better boxer than I am wrestler.
Hmm. So you're
Way
actually
better,
serious about all that. Like, you'd totally be down to transition to boxing,
100%,
in your career.
100% serious.
Okay, got you. Now that'll be dope. So we're gonna see Buck in the gloves and the fucking boxing shorts and all that
I
shit,
think I
and the
think it'd be awesome.
boots.
And also, like, there's certain things that I feel like we already seeing it right now, so I can't even say it, but like imagine me and Kevin Holland running back, right? Even though if it takes years, we running back in boxing, right? I think it'd be awesome. If a person like me, and people gonna laugh when I say this, I'm gonna say it though anyway. If me and Alex Pereira got in there and box, Alex Pereira, he a kickbox, he ain't no boxer. I will outbox Alex Pereira. I will show the world that I can outbox Alex Pereira. It ain't nothing. Because I done seen him box already. And I've seen a lot of dudes get his ass some problems. And yet again, it's just like it's a different type of style of fighting when you're talking about boxing.
Without
And
calf
you
kicks and all that shit.
and all that extra stuff, right? But also the main thing and the main weapons that you got in boxing ain't your hands, it's your feet. And that's one thing
Footwork.
that footwork. And that's one thing that I know a lot of guys in MMA they do not have, right? And that's the main thing that I've been working on for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what puts me and makes me different from everybody else.
Mm, okay. Yeah, because your coach really focuses on footwork. I was looking at his Instagram recently. He got
Mm-hmm.
all those footwork drills. He low-key pretty genius when it comes to boxing. Reggie
You
Thomas, right?
yeah, Thompson.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thompson.
Uh-huh. Thomas.
Oh,
Thomas.
okay. I got it right the first time. Okay.
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah.
Uh when he does his drills, Everything he does is old school, but mixed in with his mind and his creative ability, right? Like he's able to switch it up, you know. And that's what, like I said, I'm able to recognize the talent that even my coach has, and that's why he's my coach when it comes to that, you know, is because yet again the things that we do within this space in this field, the great inventive footworks that he do with the web or with just the lateral ladder, you know, all the things that we do, we incorporate that stuff and then we try to match it up with the kickboxing and the mixed martial arts and the MMA, right? But I be telling Reg, I'm like, bro, ain't nobody doing this shit. He like, I know.
Well, you see it. You see the level of boxing in the UFC. It's very low.
Very low.
Very low. I mean,
I say the only person that's been playing with it and shown that they got great capabilities of actually boxing is Taporia.
what about JDM?
Too flat footed. He too
Too
square.
flat-footed.
Good combination, good hand speed, good combination selection. When I mean talk about head to body, all that good work. No footwork though.
Okay.
Boxing don't start with these. If anybody tell you boxing start with these, they don't know what they're talking about.
Ilya was showing something recently. I saw a video where he was showing how to do the jab, and he steps in before he throws the jab just to cover some gap there. And then he was teaching how to like stick the jab, and he
Yeah.
says you got to step in first. You know, cover a little bit of a gap, then fire off the jab.
Yeah, I mean that's just one way to shoot a jab and fire a jab, but no, he's not lying about that, you know.
But you don't hear a lot of fighters talking about footwork, how to enter, right? Like UFC fighters, you barely hear that. So that just proves your point a little bit about Ilya.
It proves my point about Ilya, but it also proves the point about the coach. You know what I'm saying? So yet again,
Not too many boxing trainers in the UFC. I mean, shout out Trevor Whitman. He one of them.
yes, yes. Trevor Whitman is definitely one of them. But still, is levels to all things, bro. It's levels to all things, you know.
Okay. Shit, I got so many good questions for you, but I think I'll probably just wrap it up on these last two. Bonfim. I got a feeling, you know, a little sneaky suspicion you might end up getting a guy like Bonfim. I don't know. You want to say anything about that? You want to not say anything about that? Like you think you might get him?
Like you said though, right? A person like that, that's cool. And if I slaughter him, if I knock his ass out, and I do what I do, what does that do for me? What does what does Bone Fiend in them? Bone Fiend in them? Yeah, that's his name. What does he do for me if I win?
Maybe something along the lines of it raises your stock so that you're not Shavkat's third choice.
That don't even raise the stock for that. It don't even raise it, like Bone Fiend doesn't do nothing for me but give me a check like Sean Brady. Give me a check, bro. You know. But at least with Sean Brady, I got a lot of bullshit I can talk about with Sean Brady. I can't do nothing with this dude. Literally nothing. But yet again, though, it's just like whatever the UFC want and whatever my bank account say, that's what we do, right? But I can't allow myself because I know my power, right? I know my power that if I say a person's name, it's gonna go out there and you're gonna be a bigger star because I mentioned you, right? I'm on that level now. You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
glad you know that because that's a fact. Yeah.
So with that being said, it's just like, nah, he don't do nothing for me, and I'm not looking for a fight with him. But if it's something that the UFC want to do and use him as a tribute, cool. I send him to the king, you know. But I'm gonna keep hunting this Shavkat fight down. Period.
Got you. Honestly, I think you're probably gonna get it. I think you're probably gonna get it. I don't know why, but I think you're gonna get that shit. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Numbers don't lie either. So
Yeah. Now, last one, I think it'll be, would you ever be down to go train with like a Henry Cejudo now that he's retired and shit like that? He's good at wrestling. He's a very good mind in the game, in my opinion. But what do you think about ever just going and stealing some knowledge from Henry and coming back to STL with it?
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna steal as much knowledge wherever I can go. Wherever I can go, I'm gonna steal some knowledge, man. I'm gonna take something with me, but I'm always coming back home, bro. I got great things that I'm trying to build here in St. Louis that I believe that yet again, not only will I become a world champion, I'm gonna create some too.
Okay. Got you. All right. So return in February, but any like updates from the UFC you could share with us or not really at all? Like, are they working on something for you?
He said, my man said he cooking, so I'm just gonna let him cook. But while he cooking, I'm gonna keep calling out Shy Guy. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Well, actually, this is the last one I got for you. What's it like financially just fighting like once in a year? I know you got a bigger contract now, but that's what I've been wondering. Like, damn, Buck only fought once in the last like 12 months. Like, what's that like for a fighter financially?
Um, I would say this, right? It all depends on who the fighter is, and it all depends on the lifestyle that you live. But for myself, I can't go more than a year and not fight. For myself personally, I can't go there. I can't go a calendar year without fighting. No, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? This 6 months pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Like this 6 months is
And
damn
it
near.
was 6 months before that too,
Yeah, 100, right? But at least I was
from
able to re-up.
December.
But at least I was able to re-up,
Right.
though, you know? So no, it's time for Buck to fight. But yeah, I mean, that just is what it is, bro. You know, like I said, you know that you don't make that type of money. We all know that we don't make. Even Dana said, bro, like nigga, the UFC is only good for you, like for fighters for being famous. That's what he said. He literally said it out his own mouth, right? And it's not that we don't get paid, but literally, let me put Bud as an example. Bud got paid so much money that like I think not penalty, it was something that he had to pay, or his belts, right? Like to keep his belts, he had to pay 300K, right? That nigga get paid 50 million, and they got to pay 300K, which is more than me, just to keep a belt.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Insane money.
But but I can't be mad because it's been a game for how long?
Yeah.
Right? I know the
Forever.
only way,
That's the model.
I know the only way that we make real money is by what? Fight for the title. That's the only way you can see a check. Or you gotta be Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hall. The UFC love his ass. The UFC loves his ass. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Fuck. Can I ask you one? This might even be crazy, but I just want to ask you it.
What's
Let me
up?
ask you one crazy one, all right? Let me ask you one crazy one.
And I'll let you know who.
Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, what about
All right. Um, he was talking about he went viral because he talked about why he married a white woman.
Oh, that's
And he
crazy.
says he's been bullied by black chicks. Can you tell me, is that shit true?
Wait, first off, you talking about his personal story? Is it true, nigga? I don't know. Nigga.
No, like are black chicks not that desirable by you guys or what?
That's crazy. Bro. Yeah, that's a crazy question, bro. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right.
That is crazy.
No,
Bro.
but like him saying he got bullied. Him saying he got bullied by them. I'm not even asking if that's true about him. Is that like a thing or no?
It is a thing, but that's our culture. That's our culture. So if I can realistically answer your question, right? Because I went to a school that was primarily a lot of white kids there, but I was a part of the DSEG program. So a lot of the kids that we all got on the bus, we was all black girls, everything. You know? And it's not that black girls are not attractive, which is crazy work. They are very attractive. They don't deal with nonsense a lot of times, like some white girls do, right? And if you act a certain type of way in high school or you whatever doing certain stuff, you know what I mean? Like black girls just wasn't feeling it, right? But I'm not gonna say that that was DJ's story or nothing like that, but you do see it. That's crazy, bro. You do see a lot of black dudes in MMA that be with white girls, right? And even with myself, right? But I was only one with this white girl, not because I couldn't have a black girl, it's because this white girl was the only person that stuck around all the time, even with the bullshit that I was on. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I just happened to have, you know what I mean, got her pregnant, you know? And that's where I wanted to settle down and be like, okay, like this gonna be my main girl, and I want to be in my child's life, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there wasn't extra motivation because I thought the white girl was better. Hell no. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
you, got you.
And I don't think that's the same thing with DJ. I would have to say I don't think that's the same thing with DJ. When you find somebody that just cares for you, that's all you care about.
Right.
You
A
know what
lot
I'm
of
saying?
people don't
It's
know
not
until they
about
find someone who cares
it's
for
not
them.
about it's not the connection between because we both black. If we not vibing, if we not linked, we not linking. It don't matter if we both this, you know what I'm saying, color, right? You just want to find somebody that's rocking with you for who you is, right?
And that's very hard to find. Very hard to
Period.
find.
Period. Regardless if
It
it's
is
in
for
your race
sure.
or not. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more so you guys be
Can't
on some
lie, that's a
bullshit
wild ass question.
sometimes.
That's a wild
I
ass
had to
question.
ask it. We got to entertain the fans a little bit. They're gonna love that one. No, but it's because you guys be on some bullshit sometimes, and they're kind of like privy to it, so they're not gonna stand for that too. That's kind of what you're saying a little bit.
um, You talking about black girls? I mean, yeah. I mean, depending on who she is, right? Like, if she not rocking with, if what's a great example, bro? Like, uh, because my thing is like you can't put every black girl in the same umbrella. You can't, right? But I feel like the reason why the majority of guys that you see in because this is what I think you're really trying to say, like is because you can't put it as a whole, but you do see a lot of MMA dudes, right, messing with because you only gonna mess with who you surrounded with, right? And with guys, and I don't know how DJ met his wife and none of that shit, but yet again, the sport that we are involved in is predominantly a lot of white people in it, right? We're gonna get a couple snow bunnies in the mix. You know what I'm saying? like when I was wrestling, that's how I met my girl. She was a wrestling manager, right? In high school.
Oh, okay.
That's how
For the team.
for the team. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's how I got with her, right? Like,
I
so
got you.
again, you just gonna involve yourself with people that you surrounded by, and that's it, right? It ain't that deep, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because I love my black women. Don't get it twisted. I love my black women, right? But I'm to the point where in my career where it's just like let me focus on what I got going on, right?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So
And some chicks, they're gonna fucking put you through a bunch of bullshit. So that's why you gotta lock in. Not always with the hottest chick or whatever, but the one who's gonna fucking stick by you through your bullshit too and support you through thick and
yeah, I
thin.
mean, because looks fade anyway. That's crazy. We talking about this shit. Anyway,
That's
looks
all right. That's all right. They fucking love it.
looks fade anyway. Because my thing is, I didn't mess with plenty of women that was of all different races. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that I found out the was the realest was that at the end of the day, when you focusing on yourself and when you focus on your goals and you're not giving them the attention that they feel like they is warranted, they gonna end up leaving. The only person that didn't at the time was the girl I was messing with. You know what I'm saying?
This will be the last question, I promise. You know I always do this. Thank you for the time, all right? My bad on all these repeated last questions. But Joanna and Jamahal, how the fuck did you know that was Joanna's fault beforehand? You got like some X-ray vision or something, or did you talk to Jamahal?
Mystic Massive, boy, I told you I'll be knowing these things. Be honest with
You
you.
made that video like an hour after he made that post. There's no way you could have seen that video.
Um, yeah, no, I didn't see the video, and I didn't even speak to Jamal about the situation either. So it's like not that I had extra detail, but I know Jamal. I know Jamal. So it's nothing that the world can tell me about this guy that I know, right? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew that in that situation, I'm like, why would Jamal just pop off like that? You know, why would he just randomly want to knock out this strawweight champion who's a Hall of Famer in the UFC, right, and cause more issues than what I'm saying? That's going to be more backlash on him than anything, right? Like why? But then it made sense. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna smash your girl. I'm gonna knock your girl," and I know his girl, and she's the most innocent person. Like anytime we out, she really kind of just low key. She ain't all in the camera with it. Like she ain't never doing the most. Like Ian Gary's girl, I ain't trying to put her out there, but like she ain't one of them types. You know what I'm saying? Like she always been low key and private. So it just none of that stuff made sense. But then once Joanna came out with that video, that's how I knew. Once she came out
I
with
was like,
that
shit, you
video,
didn't give any details.
no, I didn't. Once she did that,
No, she didn't. She didn't.
right. Once she did
Yeah.
what she did, I was like, "Yep, you did that shit. Yep, you had to do that
Virtue
shit."
signaling and
Because,
shit like that, trying to gather the support
that part right there.
of the abused women when he fucking opened that
Yeah.
door in the first place. Insane. Insane. And that's why I think men should stick with men because we got women doing shit like this. You feel me?
All right.
And not to defend all of it, because I even said, like, I'd probably take a hit from the woman I love. You feel me? Like that, like, because I love her and I care about her. But Joanna, that's a whole different story, bro. A whole different story. She ain't
That's a
really
Hall of Famer.
anything to
You said,
Jamahal.
"Hey, so Jacob, you finna get busy with your plan," and she throw them hands with you. You get busy with
I'm
her.
not. I'm not. I'm gonna leave her alone. Shit. But a lot of people like think on the streets they could beat up Joanna, like a lot of regular dudes. I ain't
Uh,
even gonna say that, but shit, I'm a lot bigger than her.
but I would say this. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong, bro. At the end of the day, and I'm always gonna be on the side of the right.
Okay, and with that being said, did Jamal Hill do anything wrong?
Yeah.
Nah. Okay. I'm also of that same belief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You try to hurt somebody I love as well, I'm knocking you the fuck out no matter who you is.
I mean, you threatened to do that to his girl. You're a world champion. She is civilian. Like, why don't we get on her ass about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So anyway.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
that's
Now,
fine.
and let me just say last thing on this topic is I think she felt some type of way because Jamahal slid through the DMs, right? They kicked it. He said he took his ball, he went home, right? We all know the story. Hear me out though. Hear me out though. Because she played hard to get, she knew that the ball was in her court. So she had to keep hitting him back to kind of keep it going, what she was doing. He posted the DMs and it shows. Like she says, like, happy birthday, champ, all the best, champ. And I think she was trying to, get that back, right? Because she kind of fumbled the bag there. Then when she saw Jamahal pop out with his girl at the event, in her mind, she's like, fuck, I've been low-key flirting with Jamahal. Like, I still wanted him low-key. I didn't know he got a girl. So she got mad about that. You feel me? But shit, why are you going to snitch on him and all that stuff? That's crazy. Just leave that shit alone.
Even then, right there, it's like was putting like too much into it. She got drunk, right, and she felt some type of way, like you were saying, and she felt pressed about it, right, and she wanted to engage in violence because she a violent individual, because she a fighter herself, right, and because she didn't get what she wanted out of the situation, she was like, "Fuck it, let me fight over it," right, and to be honest with you, she act like a dude on that one, you know what I'm saying, like and I feel like at the end of the day, take your L, Joanna. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you wanted that night. You know what I'm saying? She didn't get that. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. She didn't get that sweet dreams that she wanted. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I really feel like it was definitely a situation where we don't have to blow up and make it more than what it is. But I just don't like the narrative that they try to switch and they try to put it on Jamahal when it was really Joanna that started all of that in the first place. It's no big deal. You just didn't get dicked down. Okay, you get it. But for them to try to act like Jamahal is a womanizer or a woman beater, right? That ain't cool. That's the part that I'm not fucking with.
Facts. Yeah, that's why I felt like I had to stick up for Jamahal too, because I'm like, all right, everybody on this Joanna's side, like somebody got to stick up for the man.
Right.
Plus, I think he did nothing wrong, like genuinely. So
He did. Yep. So that's about it. Other than that, though, it's some.
all right, bro.
Yep.
We had to end it on some funny shit. But
Yep.
anyway, thank you for the time, Buck. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. And, hopefully end of February, early March 2026, the Big 26. How many fights do you want in the Big 26, by the way?
I was thinking about
you
that.
You even consider that?
Yeah, I did. I was like, bro, I want another 2024, but then I thought about that. I don't need that. I don't need another 2024 and 2026. I just need the right.
That's a little too active, maybe.
Yeah, I just need the right names, bro. I need two good names. Right? And if not, two good bodies. Like what? How much we get for a knockout?
50K.
How much we get for a body? That's why I'm gonna ask Dan. How much we get for a body in this bitch?
Oh shit, I like that. I like that.
You're gonna give me that life insurance policy off that shit, nigga.
Shit, 100K life insurance policy coming your way.
Let's go, bro. All right, G.
All right, bro. Appreciate the time. I'll be looking out for the announcement. And Shavkat. Shavkat's the one. That's the one you're zeroed in on.
Let's go, man. What they say, 19-1. 19-1. Let's get it.